So, talking about collapse. Actually, it's hard to describe if the topic of collapse is the most tragic topic on earth or the best news ever, just because it's both. It's the depth of our wounding, and it's the biggest gift in terms of growth, transformation, and healing. So this is me somehow trying to tame a super huge topic, squeezing, let's say, the practical essentials into this video. And from there, of course, for all of us coming from this culture, we are the ones who put it into action every day. We are the ones who truly give the flesh to this exploration. So this is just me introducing you to those terms in order to make it more practically, in order to make it more approachable, and how to really transform concretely every day in your life. Collapse is another word for dissociation. And dissociation is something that most people connect something with in terms of disembodiment, being stuck in the head, not sensing the own body. So all of that is true. What is somehow maybe missing in the talking about dissociation is the tragic root in that, because dissociation comes from trauma research, it comes from trauma therapy, and it is basically tracking or observing in human beings the same biological response that we can track in other mammals in wilderness being threatened to death. So dissociation is not a light topic, even though everybody of us experiences it most of the time every day in this culture. That doesn't mean that dissociation is a light thing. Quite the opposite. All of us suffer from disembodiment every time of our life. All of us are somehow responding to our everyday routines with a biological response that comes in evolution, that comes in wild mammals, in free nature, only in situations of being threatened to death. So collapse, as well as the freeze response, are described in trauma therapy as a survival strategy. And it makes sense. I mean, an animal, a wild mammal, fleeing, for example, from a cheetah. Let's say we are talking about a gazelle or an antelope running for his life, running for her life from the cheetah. When the nervous system of the gazelle somehow realizes, no chance, this cheetah is faster than me. From 0 to 100, they stop everything. They collapse, fall to the ground, and the nervous system of the gazelle plays being dead. It pretends to be dead. It comes with a full break in the nervous system, with a full break in the energy level. In fact, it's that much a sudden break for everything inside of the gazelle that smaller mammals like mice can die from this state in itself. It's really going from 0 to 100 into something like the complete opposite. And then, yes, there is a survival chance given there because the cheetah won't eat dead animals. So maybe the cheetah then thinks, this gazelle is already dead, and then doesn't eat it and doesn't kill it. So after that, the gazelle will recover. However, the price is high. Not for the gazelle standing up, shaking, shivering, and then really recovering in the everyday life in wilderness. But for us it is, because human beings, human nervous systems, they do not get up. They do not shiver. They have no culture of trembling, of shaking, of unwinding the traumatic stress. Our human culture at the moment is defined as a culture holding on to the stress as if it would be happening every given moment, and it isn't. So it's us working with the, let's say, transgenerational and collective trauma heritage of accumulated collapse, accumulated dissociation, by tracking our individual life every day. We do not need something big and extraordinary or an expensive seminar for that, but we need our awareness around where did I learn to collapse? Where did I imitate the collapse from my parents? And truly going from there. So all my work is about basically sharing research, sharing tools, sharing embodiment practices that help us closing the gaps in our nervous system that are written in us, in our body, because of collective trauma, because of collective collapse. And so the basic thing is...
Yay! Thank you so much for your interest in aliveness, no matter what. If you want to dive deeper into the shaking lifestyle, if you want to stop functioning and start living with every fiber of your being, you're super welcome in my shaking collection. You will find the link in the description below.